supply. The supply curve represents the relationship between the price of the product itself and the quantity supplied. However, there are other variables that affect the supply decision, most notably the wages paid to the workers, the prices of the material, the cost of capital, the state of the production technology, also expectations about future prices, and the actions by the government through taxes or subsidies. All of this will affect the quantity supplied, but the most important component is the price of the product itself. Therefore, when we talk about quantity supply, it's the amount of a product that firms are willing and able to sell. Supply schedule shows us the relationship between the quantity supplied and the price of the product or service, ceteris paribus. Ceteris paribus concept means that other things being held equal. We hold all the other variables constant, and we just look at the relationship between the price of the product and the quantity supply. Individual supply curve represents decision by the individual producer, showing how much of a product or service will be supplied at a given price, ceteris paribus. To go from the individual supply curve to the market supply curve, all we have to do is essentially add up all the quantity supplied by the firms in the market. This is a graphic representation of the quantity supplied versus price, known as the supply curve. As you see, it is upward sloping, and individual supply is represented by points A, B, C, D, and E, showing that the higher the prices in the market, the more pizzas, in this case, will be supplied. Low supply is essentially telling us that there is a positive relationship between the price and the quantity supplied, ceteris paribus, other things being held constant. Change in quantity supplied represents by movement along the same supply curve, whereas the changes in any other factors will move the whole supply curve. It is important to notice that there is such thing as a minimum supply price. At this price, the producers will be bringing product to the market, but below it, none of the producers will be supplying to the market. So, just to recap, change in the quantity supplied means that you move along the same supply curve from point A to point B in this example. It means that the prices of the product have changed, but everything else was held constant. So we're staying on the same supply curve. It is also possible to have change in the whole supply schedule or movement of the supply curve. In this case, the supply curve shifted to the right, so it was an increase in supply. What would cause an increase in supply? Well, there are many different things. For example, if the wages decreased, then the supply will shift to the right. If wages increased, the wages that had to be paid to the workers increased, that represents an increased cost to the business, so that will pull the supply curve inward. If the prices of material or capital increase, again, that represents an additional cost to the business, and that will pull the supply curve inward or shift it to the left. Technological advances will shift the supply curve outwards or shift it to the right, representing an increase in supply. At this point, at any price, more product will be supplied to the market. Government subsidy. If the government decides to subsidize one of its products, again, it will shift the supply outward and will, through decreasing cost of production, essentially allowing more product to be produced. Expected future price. If we expect the future prices to be higher, that some of the producers might actually pull back a little bit and not produce in the current period and wait till the next period. So the quantity supplied to the market will go down if market expects future prices to be higher. Number of producers. As the number of producers goes up, the quantity supplied to the market will also go up. If one of the taxes was repealed, so lowering taxes will also increase the supply, which is good for the market and bring in abundance of goods or services to the market.